Hi, Kalidasa here. I wanted to tell you today a little bit about how I actually developed self-adjusting technique. I have the story written up somewhere, but might be a little easier to watch it on a video. Basically what happened was I had my major illness. I was very ill and had surgery, and I came out of surgery, and after that my gut was fine. Fairly fine. You know, it takes quite a while to heal up from major surgery like that. But eventually I had to do something about my back. It was just in agony. And I just scraped a few dollars together that I could, because I couldn't really work. And went to see somebody who was a chiropractor that I knew. I thought he was a friend of mine. And he was an activator chiropractor, which means he uses this little spring-loaded tool. You push it up against, it's like a metal rod with a rubber thing on the end of it, and you push it up against the joint and pull the trigger, and it clicks and pops it back into place. So I went to see him, and I left, and he said I needed to come in 3 times a week for at least 6 weeks before I would be fine. I'm like, okay, I couldn't really afford this session. How am I going to come back? And of course, the very next day, my back was just in the exact same place it was the day before. Didn't last at all. So a couple of weeks later, I scraped up enough money to go see him again. Like I said, I thought he was a friend. He might help me out, but he didn't. He gave me a lower rate. That's about all he did for me. But I went to see him, and I paid very close attention to where he put that activator and where he clicked on it. And I got that big S-curve tool that you'll see in the picture here below. That I got that, and I had that, and I would hook it into those places where he put that activator, and I pulled on them as I walked around. And I got to the place where I could get up in the morning, barely get out of bed because it would be my back would be out again. Get that tool and pull on those points. It'd take me about an hour walking around the house, pulling on them, and got my back into place. And eventually it took a little less time. Eventually I didn't need to do it as much. Eventually I figured out other techniques, other ways of doing the adjustments on myself. Figured out a lot of different things. I met my friend Dr. G, who I talked about on that earlier video, and he helped me with some of the refinement. Some of the techniques he taught me helped me to actually figure it out for myself, and he learned my techniques and uses them on some of his clients. That's how I started, was applying them to myself, but then I started doing these on friends of mine that had problems. I had one friend whose shoulder was like this, and I said, well, let me see what I can do, and did like this, and when I was finished she was like that. And so I did the other side, and she was even. And started a practice after that, using my techniques for doing adjusting and the healing techniques I'd learned from Dr. G, and developed my own practice, and helped a lot of people, and then started writing these books. So anyway, that's how I developed the technique, and if you have any questions, hit me up with a response on this email, and I'll answer whatever questions I can. Have a great day.